I've got an unpopular hot take for y'all, and that's the NBA is the most. It's not the most. I was about to say it's the most. It is no longer the most competitive league in the world. Now, you might be wondering, who is the most competitive league in the world? That stands to be unknown. I'm trying to find out because, and I want to explain this. When I say competitive, I'm not saying the NBA is necessarily the worst league in the world. The worst basketball league, by the way, worst basketball league is no longer the. I'm not saying the NBA is no longer the best basketball league in the world, and I'm not gonna watch the NBA anymore and stuff like that. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying the NBA is not as competitive as it used to be, and this it shows it surely shows in these FIBA, bro. In the World Cup is showing right before our eyes. When you think about it like this, I'm gonna explain what I mean by at least competitive. I'm gonna explain this part of the argument real quick. Luka Doncic is it's like S tier basketball players, most skilled players in the NBA right now. I'm not saying that because of what he's doing in the Olympics. Well, that helps my argument a lot, but that's not my biggest argument. But I'm saying basketball skill wise, he's the most he's S tier skilled basketball players in the world. But he's not the most entertaining. Like, and that's where I'm saying what I'm saying. The NBA, most entertaining league in the world for sure. You've got Kevin Durant, a 6'11 power forward with point guard skills and has the range of a shooting guard or like old-fashioned shooting guards, but even more range than that. And then you have a player from Greece who just won the NBA Finals. You have LeBron James, who came from Akron, Ohio, a city from not from nowhere, because Akron, Ohio still has a good population, but basically from nowhere. And you have all these players that can reach different demographics of fans. So it definitely is a very entertaining league. And then you have some crazy athletic people who can do between the legs dunks in game, that which is crazy. So I'm not saying the NBA is the worst league. I'm saying it's not the most competitive league anymore. Just like how Luka is not the best player in the NBA, but he's definitely probably the most skilled player in the NBA. Now, a debate you can make with me is James Harden's more skilled or Kyrie's more skilled. I would say Kyrie's more skilled than James Harden, but those three players are definitely in my top three of most skilled basketball players. I'm not naming everyone. I don't have time to name everyone in this video. I don't feel like it, but maybe I can have a later video of who's the most skilled basketball player in the NBA. But back to the topic at hand. The NBA is no longer the most competitive league in the NBA. It's no longer the most competitive league anymore. Why? Because they've made it easier for players to score. Honestly, rug ball, which is overseas, you can check it out. I forgot. I think Jimmy High Roller. Jimmy High Roller. He posted a video of rug ball. That league might be more competitive just because it's harder to score. But a competitive league to me, or like just like a basketball player, a more skilled basketball player is someone who is very versatile and can do very different things and doesn't rely on something to save them. With boys, they rely on a lot of athleticism to save them. Where girls, that's why girls are more skilled at basketball. Yes, I'm saying it. Girls are more skilled at basketball than dudes because guys, if they can't get around the guy with their handles, they just blow. If that dude's slower than them, they just blow by him, which is not a bad thing necessarily. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying they're not as skilled as a girl because a girl has athletic limitations. I'm trying to watch the way I word it. So they have to refine and tighten up their skills in order to more than a guy has to, in order to compete at higher levels and to also compete with dudes. But back to the NBA topic. I'm getting off topic. The NBA is not the most competitive league to me, and I don't think anyone should think it's the most competitive league anymore because they've made it easier and easier for people to score. when there was people at like it's just now starting with the rule changes and stuff. Rule changes have been going on since the course of time in the NBA to accommodate people, accommodate their superstars, and accommodate scores and just getting more views, which is nothing wrong with that. Views bring money, and we all try. Not everyone tries to do everything. We don't do everything for money, but we do some things that can help bring in more revenue. But that's neither here nor there. The NBA is doing that, and they did that back in the old days where they got rid of the hand checking. They got rid of the 3-second lane violation when LeBron lost to the Mavericks in the finals, and they implemented more and more rules. Whereas you can an offensive player can initiate contact and still draw the foul that way. Where before it was. Even it doesn't matter if the offensive player or the defensive player initiated the contact. Ain't no foul going to be called whatsoever. And then it grew to if the offensive player initiates contact, then there's no foul call. If the defensive player initiates too much contact, it's a foul. Or if they put their hands up but they jump, it's a foul call. If the defensive player puts their hands up and they even move, it's a foul call. And you can't get mad at the players for it. I'm not mad at the players at all for playing the way they play and doing the things they do. They play. Why would they not? They try to play they want to play in the NBA. Why? It's their lifelong dream, and it's the league that brings in the basketball league that brings in the most money, and you can get the best contract out of all the leagues in the world playing in the NBA. You don't believe me? $500K. $500K a year to ride the bench. And that's not saying you suck. I'm saying you sit on the bench the entire game, but you make $500K. And then you have $40 million contracts. But the NBA has definitely gotten less competitive, and has gotten because it's just easier to do things. It's easier to draw fouls. It's easier to shoot. It's easier to shoot threes because they brung the 3-point line closer and closer to accommodate shooters and to get more 3-point shots. And I don't know if this is legit. They've been saying this for years on top of years, but there's talks about a 4-point line being implemented sometime in the future. Not saying next season, not saying the year after next, but sometime there's going to be a 3-point line. I mean a 4-point line. And that is just, if that doesn't say higher scoring games and more revenue and more merch, more stuff to bring more fans into the league. Like when I was creating my league for the BTO League series, I was trying to make sure that my players were going to put up more shots, because more shots meant more. It meant more points, and more people want to see more points being put up, especially in a short period of time of 8 minutes. You know, a lot of highlights are happening if they're scoring 25 points in 8 minutes, which sounds easy, but it's really tough when you're actually in the moment and actually watching those simulations. When I was watching those 12-minute simulations and they was only scoring 12 or 25 points, sometimes only 19 points, it gets dreadful watching, trust me. But anyways, I believe the NBA is less competitive, and I also believe, another hot take in this video, Team USA is not winning the gold next time in 4 years. Am I saying they're not winning the gold this year? Honestly, I don't know. But they still have a chance. I'm not saying Team USA there's no way they're winning the gold this year. There's definitely a chance that they can win the gold. Hey, shout out to me being so nice with the Suns, by the way. Locking up Shaq and Kobe. Kobe's getting his, but hey, back to the video. Man, honestly, I just don't see how Team USA is going to win in 4 years. People act like, oh, if you play, like we got all the NBA players. That's what I mean about the NBA's becoming less competitive. We got a bunch of the so-called best players in the world. But when you throw all that talent on one team, it doesn't win basketball games, especially if those guys aren't as skilled as other countries are. Other countries are focusing more, the NBA is focusing more so towards superstars. ISO, get your superstar, shoot the ball more, shoot the ball more. Please stay healthy. Please stay healthy. Yeah, we're gonna protect you when you drive in. We're gonna protect you when you shoot threes. Just please stay healthy and take care of your bodies so that we can make more money and we don't lose any body. We don't lose any sales. We don't lose any viewers from the TV shows and the games. Please just stay healthy. Stay healthy. While other leagues aren't focused on that, they can't focus on it. So what do they focus on? They focus on they just focus on winning the championship for that league. They focus on ball movement. They focus on on defensive sets. They focus on moving without the ball. When I say ball movement, I don't mean just pass. You sit on the corner, you sit in the corner, you sit in the corner, you sit on the wing, you sit in the post, and I sit at the top of the key. And we just keep passing it. No one moves. We just keep passing the ball around. No, I mean they practice passing and cutting inside and then coming right back out for the 3-point shot and making sure the guy that has the ball is looking up at all times for the open man and looking for the best shot, not just their own shot, and not trying to get everybody else to create space for their own shot. And it makes it to where everyone can gel even better when they're learning to play that, and they're continuing to play that way when they play in a league. Because one thing about the NBA is that it started. When did it start? It started in November last year, and it's just ending. Really, it just ended in July, so it's basically a year-long league. Before, it started in October and ended in June, early June to May. It always ended in June. It always ended in June. And that just showed, that's a year-long, almost a year-long league. Not really. It's not really a year-long league, but that's 6 months at least. And so that's at least half of your year gone focused towards this one league. But hey, you're making a lot of money from that league, so there's nothing wrong with that. But just know, this league is making you're expecting to get calls that if you play in another country, or if you play in a pickup game, maybe if you play in a pickup game in America where they know your name, so they know what you're kind of expecting to get, they're going to call that. When you're playing overseas, when you're playing with refs that are refereeing Chinese leagues and your Australian leagues and European leagues that don't have these calls, don't expect them to make that call for you just because you're Damian Lillard and your net worth is $250 million and no, $250 US. No, they don't care. They making bank themselves, so if you repping an Olympic, maybe, I might be wrong, fact check me, but I'm pretty sure these guys are making bank if they're refereeing the Olympics. If they're refereeing the Olympics, they're making bank, and they're going to make more bank because that's just making them more notable and getting them more recognition. And honestly, I'm sure the NBA refs are enjoying this league, would enjoy this league, refereeing this league or the Olympics, because hey, I don't have to call a foul here, and they could probably give players more texts for complaining and stuff. Oh yeah, this is definitely for me. This is definitely the league for me. But at the end of the day, the NBA is getting softer for sure. I'm sure I'm gonna have hate comments, I'm sure I'm gonna have love comments, but the NBA is getting softer. The NBA is becoming less competitive. It's still the most entertaining league though. It still is the most entertaining league. But as far as competitiveness, I can't say it's the most competitive when the top players from the NBA are majority Americans. They are majority Americans, and they're not. And they lost 3 matches. They lost 3 matches, and they lost. And one of those matches were there might be 4, but the last match they just lost was in the preliminary rounds to the Czech Republic. No disrespect to the Czech Republic at all, but they lost to the Czech, and they're about to play Spain on Tuesday, and it's not looking good for Team USA, and it's looking good for everyone else. And I'm pretty sure Slovenia is definitely going to win a gold medal. Luka's going to win them a gold medal. Maybe not this year, but sometime in the near future. Thank you guys for watching though. WB Leading Productions signing out.